Cuba, children hiding under desks, and in Miami, people evacuating buildings, gathering in the streets. New video tonight of the Kobe Bryant crash, a witness saying he captured this video showing a low-flying helicopter. At the time, Bryant's chopper was circling the area. And new images tonight of the fiery crash scene, what we've now learned. And tonight, LeBron James saying, "I'm not ready, but here I go," offering his own tribute. The impeachment trial of President Trump. Tonight, breaking developments as we come on. The closed-door meeting just a short time ago. Now the all-out battle for witnesses. Does Mitch McConnell have the votes to block witnesses amid those new explosive allegations from John Bolton? What we're now learning about Republicans who might vote with the Democrats. The center of the outbreak in China on a plane to the U.S. What will happen when they get here? And the CDC is now screening passengers at 20 American airports. At a news conference late today on a possible new case in the U.S. The stunning turn tonight, the husband in the case of the missing mother of 5 charged in her murder. Today, paramedics racing to his home. They say he tried to take his own life, found unresponsive. The arrest tonight in the U.S., who is now accused of helping China steal American technology. The Harvard professor among those charged. And the missing children, authorities say they're in danger. Their mother and her new husband now found in Hawaii. Authorities giving them 48 hours to reveal where the children are.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Tuesday night, and we have a lot to get to. We begin tonight with the frightening moments in South Florida today. The powerful earthquake, they felt it in Miami, a 7.7 magnitude quake, erupting along the same fault line that's affected Puerto Rico in recent weeks. The epicenter between Cuba and Jamaica, and you can see the school children here in Kingston, Jamaica, hiding under their desks. In Miami, workers evacuated from downtown high-rises, gathering in parking lots until they could be sure that the buildings were safe. There was a tsunami warning in the region for a time, and the concern tonight, that same fault line that's already been active. ABC's Victor Oquendo leads us off from Miami.
Tonight, people evacuating from buildings in Miami as a massive 7.7 magnitude earthquake in the Caribbean rattles parts of the city.
The alarm started sounding and they were told us to go downstairs to the stairs.
We thought it was a bombing, we thought it was a shooting, we didn't know what it was.
The earthquake's epicenter more than 400 miles away off the coast of Jamaica and Cuba. School children hiding under desks in Jamaica, 77 miles from the epicenter. Others evacuated in Kingston.
Big earthquake going on. Look at this.
In nearby Cayman Islands, the pool water seen rattling. The last month has been an extremely active period for earthquakes in the Caribbean. Today's quake comes just 2 weeks after a series of devastating earthquakes in Puerto Rico, which sits along the same tectonic plates.
And Victor, as you reported, they felt the effects of that powerful quake right there in Miami, where you're reporting tonight. And I know there have been aftershocks in the zone.
That's right, David. A series of them, the strongest being a 6.1. There was also a tsunami threat in the Caribbean and Central America. Thankfully, here in Miami, no one was injured. David?
All right, Victor Oquendo tonight. Victor, thank you. We also have new reporting at this hour in the helicopter crash that killed Kobe Bryant and 8 others, including one of his own daughters. This new video tonight showing a helicopter circling over Glendale, California. At the time, Bryant's chopper was tracked circling the area. And new images tonight of the fiery scene where it crashed. Tonight, the bodies of all 9 victims have now been recovered. All of them are being mourned tonight. And LeBron James saying today, "I'm not ready, but here I go," offering his own tribute. ABC's Chief National Affairs Correspondent Tom Llamas is at the Staples Center tonight.
Tonight, this new video could become part of the NTSB's investigation. There, flying through the clouds and fog, it's believed, is Kobe Bryant's helicopter.
It's surreal. This is a suburban neighborhood, and there's a giant helicopter.
Glendale resident David Ludmirsky shot the video. He says his home was shaking from the rumble of the chopper.
It was like gunning its engine. It was really loud, and it was banking and turning really steep.
15 minutes later, Kobe Bryant's chartered helicopter would crash into a canyon, killing everyone on board. These new images showing the fireball and catastrophic damage. And for the first time, the NTSB taking us inside the impact crater. Investigators picking through a mangled mess of wires, charred metal, and shredded fiberglass.
Have you seen any evidence at all that shows any type of mechanical failure?
We're still collecting pieces of the wreckage, so we'll look at that as part of the investigation.
Investigators say there was no black box, no cockpit voice recorder. but there may have been an iPad with an app pilots use to navigate, which could provide important clues. Investigators still trying to figure out why the experienced pilot, Era Zobayan, apparently started to climb, then descended hundreds of feet before slamming into the hillside. The NTSB now asking the public for weather photos around the crash site at the time of the accident. The hunt for clues coming as memorials around the Staples Center are growing by the day. And players paying tribute on social media. Lakers star LeBron James posting, "I'm not ready, but here I go. Sitting here, trying to write something for this post, but every time I try, I begin crying again. I promise you, I'll continue your legacy." Former teammate Shaquille O'Neal speaking on his podcast.
Just wish he was here. Just wish I could say something to him.
Tonight, a tribute for some of the other victims. The Orange Coast baseball team remembering Coach Altobelli, his wife Carrie, and 13-year-old daughter Alyssa.
Kobe and his daughter.
And Kobe's 13-year-old daughter Gianna, who shared her father's passion for the game.
Please join us in a 24-second moment of silence.
Last night, a moving tribute by the University of Connecticut women's team, the school she dreamed of playing for, displaying the number she wore.
It was such a powerful image, and Tom with us live from the Staples Center tonight, where crowds are still gathering to pay tribute to Kobe Bryant and the other victims.
That's right, David. This is truly an incredible sight. 2 days after this horrible crash, thousands of fans are still coming here to the Staples Center, leaving flowers, signing memorial boards, and paying tribute. This as the investigation continues. And late today, we got the grim news, David. The coroner announcing they have recovered all 9 bodies from that site. David.
Tom Llamas again tonight. Thank you, Tom. Next at this hour, a group of Americans in China, the epicenter of that outbreak, have now gotten onto a plane. They are on their way home tonight. And here in the U.S., passengers are now being screened at 20 airports. And authorities in Lawrence, Kansas, a short time ago, revealing that they are now investigating a possible new case. ABC's Will Carr is in Ontario, California, where those Americans will land. And what will happen to them next?
Tonight, as the coronavirus spreads rapidly in China, more than 200 Americans are heading back to the United States. Cases jumped 60% overnight in China, where the death toll now stands at more than 100. In this picture, inside a cockpit, you can see the extent of the protective measures being taken.
Very relieved to be going home.
Patrick Stockstill's bag is packed.
We're here at the airport. It is completely empty. We're here at Tianhe Airport. We've got our tickets. We're just waiting for the next step in the process.
The Stockstills, along with American officials and their families, were tested before boarding that charter flight. They'll refuel in Alaska and fly on to Ontario, California, about 45 minutes east of Los Angeles.
They'll be screened, evaluated constantly. There will be physicians on the flight.
Is Ontario ready for this?
Yes, it is. I mean, we go through training and exercises all the time.
The CDC plans to quarantine the Americans for 3 days in California, testing them for any signs of illness. So far, 5 Americans have contracted the coronavirus. Authorities are now screening passengers for the new virus at 20 domestic airports. And health officials are warning Americans to avoid any travel to China that's not absolutely essential.
And Will Carr with us tonight. And Will, I know the passengers, even if they're healthy, they're going to be held for 3 days, as you reported. But what happens if a passenger then shows symptoms?
That's right, David. Nobody on that charter flight is going home right away. If anybody shows any symptoms, they could be quarantined here up to 2 weeks. Tonight, authorities say they're not taking any chances. David.
Will Carr tonight. Thank you, Will. And next to the impeachment showdown, there are breaking developments tonight. The closed-door meeting for Republican senators just a short time ago amid this all-out battle now for witnesses. Does Mitch McConnell have the votes to block witnesses amid those explosive new allegations from John Bolton? What we're learning from McConnell himself tonight about Republicans who are considering voting with the Democrats for witnesses. Mary Bruce up on the Hill tonight.
The Trump legal team tonight resting their case, closing with a passionate plea and a warning.
The bar for impeachment cannot be set this low. Danger, danger, danger. These articles must be rejected. The Constitution requires it. Justice demands it.
With pressure growing for Republicans to call John Bolton to testify, the president's counsel, Jay Sekulow, brushed off the explosive allegations from the president's former national security advisor, calling them inadmissible.
You cannot impeach a president on an unsourced allegation.
Tonight, Democrats argue, then go straight to the source and call Bolton to testify. Bolton reportedly writes in his upcoming book that the president told him directly that he was holding nearly $400 million in aid from Ukraine until they agreed to help investigate Joe Biden. But Trump's lawyer Alan Dershowitz argued even if what Bolton alleges is true, it's not impeachable.
Nothing in the Bolton revelations, even if true, would rise to the level of an abuse of power or an impeachable offense. That is clear from the history.
And in another turn, the president's former chief of staff, John Kelly, reportedly now says, "I believe John Bolton," and suggests Bolton should testify, saying if there are people that could contribute to this, either innocence or guilt, I think they should be heard. Tonight, all eyes are on a handful of key Republicans who suggest they want to hear from Bolton, like Senator Lisa Murkowski.
I think that Bolton probably has something to offer. So we'll figure out how we're going to learn more.
On the Senate floor today, our team spotted other Republicans trying to sway Murkowski. John Thune, the Republican whip, huddling with the Alaska senator, appearing to debate the issue of witnesses. The president's allies are now floating one idea they hope might appease them, suggesting they make the Bolton manuscript available to senators to review in a secure setting.
Let senators go read it for themselves. That sounds like a reasonable solution to me.
But Democrats say that's not enough. And Bolton has said he's ready to testify if subpoenaed.
Are we really going to require the country to wait until his book comes out to find out information that senators could have used?
So let's get right up to Mary Bruce live on the Hill tonight. And Mary, Senate Republicans just emerged from that meeting, and I know you're learning that the majority leader is sending a warning to the Republicans tonight as a whole and the White House tonight that he does not have the votes right now to block witnesses.
Well, David, there's a lot of uncertainty here tonight, but we have learned that the Republican leader just told his members that right now he does not have the votes to block witnesses. There's a lot of concern here tonight, as one top Republican told us that this could become a, quote, disorderly, chaotic mess. But that vote to consider witnesses is not expected until Friday. And David, a lot could change between now and then.
Yes, this has been very fluid from the start. Mary Bruce, our thanks to you again tonight. And in the middle of the impeachment trial, President Trump unveiled his sweeping new peace plan for the Middle East. With Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at his side, the president proposes a Palestinian state if certain conditions are met. The plan would give Israel large parts of the West Bank that the Palestinians consider the heart of their territory. Today, the Palestinians said the deal is a non-starter. Here in Washington, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi expressed some optimism, saying, quote, "If there is a possibility for peace, we want to give it a chance." Next, the stunning turn in the case of the missing mother of 5 in Connecticut. Her husband charged with her murder, paramedics rushing to his home today after authorities say he tried to take his own life. They found him unresponsive. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
Paramedics in Connecticut today racing from the home of Fotis Dulos. The accused murderer later airlifted to a New York hospital in critical condition from carbon monoxide poisoning. Police say after Dulos failed to appear for a bail hearing, they went to his home for a wellness check where he tried to take his own life.
They could see through a window that Mr. Dulos was sitting in his vehicle and he had obvious signs of medical distress.
Dulos is facing a murder charge in the death of his estranged wife, Jennifer, who vanished last May after dropping off their children at school. At the time, the couple was locked in a bitter custody battle over their 5 children. Dulos insisting all along he had nothing to do with his wife's disappearance.
It's an exhausting fight. I love my children. That's about it.
Dulos' former attorney and his girlfriend, Michelle Troconis, are now charged with conspiracy to commit murder. Jennifer's body has never been found.
Dulos is still in critical condition here at the hospital, and there is a heavy police presence, officers stationed all around it. And David, we know Dulos has just been transferred from the ER to a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. David.
Stephanie Ramos tonight. Thank you, Stephanie. Now to Boston, where federal prosecutors tonight have charged 3 scientific researchers, accusing them of being part of China's campaign to steal U.S. technology. Among them, Dr. Charles Lieber, chair of Harvard's chemistry department, who allegedly was paid up to $50,000 a month for work that authorities say he lied about. And a Boston University engineering